Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or hi if you're new here. Today we'll finally be talking about some of my eyeshadows because this is my big eyeshadow project pan. I like to do this in a very specific way because I don't want to neglect eyeshadows just because they have pan in them and things like that, so I choose 2 eyeshadows to hit pan on, 2 eyeshadows to expand pan on, and then a wildcard eyeshadow. I'll explain that more as I get into it. Starting with the eyeshadows that I want to expand pan on, I don't have many eyeshadows with pan, so I happen to roll 2 eyeshadows from the same palette. This is the W7 24K Gold Rush palette, and it has 14 shades, typically in these sort of gold colours, gold and brown, and then these pops of blue. I really enjoy this palette because it's pretty neutral, but it has a lot of shimmers, so it's not boring. And as you can see, I have quite a few pans in here already because especially these shimmer shades are very smushy, or I use a very small brush to use them as an inner corner highlight. I typically try and use my fingers with them because it's difficult to pick up a lot of that shimmer on a brush. But the 2 shades that I've rolled into this project to expand pan on are Good As and Golden Boy. Because I'm wanting to expand pan on these and get good use on them, I set a 30 use goal. Good As has already been used 4 times, so that's 26 uses left, and I haven't touched Golden Boy in the past month, so that still has a 30 use goal. That shouldn't be too difficult because these eyeshadows go with a lot of other stuff that I use, so hopefully we'll see some more progress next month. Then I have 2 shadows that I want to hit a pan on, or if not then at least get good usage on, because a lot of my eyeshadows are very new, haven't been touched, so I don't imagine it's going to be easy hitting pan on them, and I didn't want to stress myself out with maybe more difficult eyeshadows like a matte black or very dark colours. So I want to hit pan, but if not, I'll allow myself to roll things out after 30 uses. I think that's a good compromise, and that's a decent amount of usage, so I know how I feel about the eyeshadow and I've made some good progress on it. The first eyeshadow I want to hit pan on comes from my Disney Primark collab. This is the Ursula eyeshadow palette. It's this 7th shade here, this sparkly silver. I don't know how I feel about it because it's a very bright, blinding silver shade, so it's probably only going to be used as an inner corner highlight. There it is, that's just a light swatch and it's already very white, so I feel like if I put that all over the lid it might look a bit ashy. The second shade I want to hit pan on comes from my Popfeel palette. I don't think this has a name or anything, it's blank on the back. When I got this palette, this middle shade here had crumbled, so I tried to repress it, but it's been very powdery and there's a lot of kick up, so this pan has just been getting bigger ever since. You can see some nice dips in these shades, especially because I recently had this in a project 5 uses where I used every single shade 5 times. That gave me a good feel for this palette and how I like to use it, and there are some more pinky tones, some more orangey tones. The colour that I rolled in is this very, very light pink here. I'll probably just use this as a lid setting shade, either until I hit pan or I've reached my 30 use goal. It does have a slight dip on it. I'm not sure whether I will hit pan on it because I don't use a lot of it, but then again it's not the biggest shadow in the world either, so we'll see. It is just a very light pink, so it barely even shows up. The final eyeshadow is my Wildcard, which just means that I randomise an eyeshadow from every single eyeshadow that I own, and I randomise the usage, so it's anywhere between 1 and 30 uses. I rolled in my Profusion Delightful Dahlia palette. Because this middle shade was sort of smushed when I got it, I bought this for £1 in TK Maxx. which was an absolute steal. And I just disinfected it and put the middle shade back together, so it's pretty much brand new. The shade I rolled in is this middle shade here, Dahlia, and it is this pressed glitter, this very blue pressed glitter. I have worn this once already. I rolled it in for 17 uses, by the way, but I used this once already, and even though it looks very bright blue with a very blue base, I put it on my eyes on top of a very neutral brown, and it came out looking like a green glitter, which I was not upset about. It looked very nice, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. It is a beautiful colour, and I don't mind pressed glitters, so it should be pretty easy to use up, just as a fun pop of glitter. And here is the colour story as a whole. You can see there's that kind of green-blue flip on that Profusion Delightful Dahlia glitter. The Popfeel colour doesn't really show up very much, it is just that very pale pink. The shimmery silver from the Ursula palette, and then you can see there is a difference between the two golds from the 24K Gold Rush palette. This bottom one is good as, and it's much more warm leaning, whereas this is Golden Boy and it's more of a true gold. Hopefully those colours shouldn't be too difficult to use up, and hopefully I'll get good use on them in the coming month. As I said, I've only used this colour once, and I used Good As 4 times, so I still have a ways to go with these. Wish me luck! Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, leave a like or subscribe. I plan on putting out a lot more panning videos. I'll be back on the 10th with my Pan That palette in order, so I'll be excited to show you that for the first time. If you follow me over on my Instagram, you would have already seen updates on that throughout the year, but I have a major update that I haven't shown there yet, and it's very exciting. I hope you have a good day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!